Finally, Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
Finally, Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.
Type of way. That's a parlay you could take to them. I'm having that aura. I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. Ever since birth, been a cold under pressure. Wanna be great, gotta do a little extra. That's why I grind with obsession. Everything about me irregular. Everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort. No box left unchecked on the checklist. No stone left unturned. Mash on the gas and etc. Or farming hoe, I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paved the way. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. I'm a win.
Welcome to the TezDown. You guys let me know. I think I got a little bit of lag today. If it's lagging, let me know. I'll leave and come back and try to get it right. Let me know, chat. Are we lagging? Are we lagging? Are we? Let's try not to lag today. Let's go ahead and end this task real quick. Maybe that'll help us out a little bit. All right, cool. If it gets bad, let me know so I can leave and come back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave and come back. You guys don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'll start our first video just so we can not be sitting here doing nothing. Okay, good. It's good. All right. Let's get our day going then. We're gonna start off with some ice breaking stuff. And today's ice breaking stuff is gonna be a little bit interesting. So let's check it out and see what that looks like today. Ooh, did nobody tell me I had that on? Oh man. Yeah, everything is running slow for me right now. I'm not sure why. They're trying to stop me, y'all. They're trying to stop me. Yeah, it's not one to run for me. Give me a second, guys, while I try to get this right. You started acting up on me out of nowhere. Go figure, right? We're talking about something important, and then that decides to happen. In today's what we have going on first, the weather is cold. It's cold still. In today's it's actually today's the warmest day that we've had in the last like month. It's 44, 45 today. So far. It's only about noon, so it's probably about as warm as it's gonna get. But I anticipate it being a little bit warmer the rest of this weekend. If we get a 45-degree day, I didn't have to wear my big jacket today for the first time in months, 2 months maybe. Let's go. I don't know what's going on, y'all. We gonna do it anyway. Yeah, let's go. So today around the country in America, students. What's up, Scott? How you doing? Students have been protesting by leaving school. This is elementary school students. This is middle school students and high school students here in all over the country are protesting ICE, and the students have held a walkout in solidarity for the people who have had issues. So let's go.
Latest of several demonstrations at schools across Southeast Michigan. Thank you for joining us for CBS News Detroit at 5. I'm Terrence Friday.
And I'm Shayna Humphreys. Today, more than 100 students walked out of class at Stevenson High School in Livonia. CBS News Detroit's Jack Springate spoke with some of them to learn why they feel it's so important to speak out.
Well, some of the students I spoke to today say they feel like targets, but they're tired of being quiet about it. They say they not only find strength in using their voices, but also when they see so many of their other classmates do the same. Many of these students say they can't change where they're from, but they can change how people treat them because of it.
I'm here to represent my people. People shouldn't be fearing for their lives because of their skin color. People shouldn't be fearing for their lives because they speak Spanish. And I'm proud to speak Spanish. I'm proud to be Latina.
The district said the demonstration went without any issues as 100 to 150 students gathered to protest at the high school's football field.
Prosecute ICE! Prosecute ICE! Defies the Constitution! ICE defies the Constitution!
A district official told me a few students gathered to oppose the walkout. Some hurled profanity and derogatory terms towards some of their classmates as I interviewed them.
It's just really sad that everybody, including my family, have to go through this. And it's just every day when I walk from school, I'm so scared, but I don't want to be scared anymore. I want to stand up.
We're trying to send that we do not want ICE here, and we want ICE out of our states and our country.
Livonia Public Schools sent us a statement with their response to the anti-ICE demonstration, saying in part, "We're proud when our students demonstrate passion for issues that matter to them and seek constructive ways to make their voices heard. At the same time, our highest priority is student safety." And Stevenson High School wasn't the only one to hold a walkout, as we heard of others happening at Monroe High School and Dexter High School on Monday as well. Reporting in Livonia, I'm Jack Springate, CBS News, Detroit.
If you're looking for ways to punch your moral dance card at the moment, if you're, say, Paul Weiss, with your radioactive Epstein files chairman stuffed into the back office where you hope no one knows.
So for starters, that's what's going on with the students in today's school. And it's kind of unfortunate that they're having to go through this. You would think that, okay, we want them to go to school and we want them to be able to learn and get stuff done, right? That's just not what's going on. It's unfortunate that they have to go through it, but I commend all the kids that have stood up and started protesting for the people of the country and the people who are trying to be citizens in the country as well. We're not going to spend too much time on that. I'm going to play the video again while I try to fix this internet, guys.
Type of way. That's a parlay you could take to them. Having that aura, I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. Ever since birth, been a cult under pressure. Wanna be great, gotta do a little extra. That's why I grind with obsession. Everything about me irregular. Everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort. No box left unchecked on the checklist. No stone left unturned. Mash on the gas and etc. Or farming hoe, I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paved the way. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't.
All right, let's see if that works. If not, I'm gonna have to do something else. Yeah, let's see if that works. I hate having technical difficulties. It throws off the whole day. You know, you got something planned, you want to do it, and then you get technical difficulties, and it just throws the day off. But we're gonna work through it. We are definitely gonna work through it. All right. I think that we finally got everything back the way that we wanted it, and hopefully we're not lagging anymore. If we are, then we'll try to fix this again. But I think we're home right now. Let me listen to it and see what's going on. All right. Okay, I think we're good this time. If we're not, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to keep moving. I want to get the video done and I want to get the video out. And maybe there's a reason why it's doing that, but unbeknownst to me of why, I wonder if I do it this way. All right. I don't know what's going on today, guys, but we're gonna try to keep going, and hopefully we don't have any more issues that are causing these problems. I apologize for the lag, so just listen along if possible, and we'll keep going. And um, definitely not going to be the best visual broadcast that we could put together, but because I don't know what's going on, it's not my internet. I don't know what's making it lag this way. My CPU's not bogged down by anything. I don't have anything running in the background. I don't know what's going on, guys, but we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna finish what we came to do today. Up next, we have our main topic of today's show is these Epstein files. And maybe if I don't know, maybe if I restart the entire system, then this will stop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the video playing, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna leave it in a small box. How about that? And then restart. So you guys give me a second. I'm gonna play this video and try to get this going. If you guys stay right there, I'm gonna try to get this right. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. It's just not acting right today. So I'm trying to fix it. I'm gonna fix it, and then we're gonna get the show on the road. So looks like I'm still super laggy. Yeah, I am. I am super laggy right now. It's bothering me while I'm trying to do this. So just give me a second. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna restart this whole thing. I'm gonna leave the stream running, but I'm gonna restart, and hopefully restarting fixes all my problems. All right, everybody. I think we're back, and guess what? It's still lagging, and I don't know why. So it must be a StreamYard thing and not a me thing. So we're gonna keep it moving, and hopefully you guys can follow along, and hopefully there's no problems and this ever happens again. But we're back. We're here, and we're gonna continue with the show today. We're gonna get this out the way that it should be gotten out, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Thank you guys for sticking around, and thank you for still being there for that few minutes of silence that we had to deal with. But let's get our video started since we're so far behind now. We're diving into this Epstein case. We're going to see a lot of stuff. So if you guys are children or anything else, just beware. Do not watch this video if you can't stomach it. We're about to do it, guys. What's up, Roxy? We got Soft Rain in the building. I see you. I see we got Roxy. We got In Too Deep. What's up? You guys stayed. I appreciate y'all for staying this whole time while we were getting this going. We're about to make some moves here real quick, y'all. At least the list is coming through clear. That's what's really important, right? That's what's really important. That's what we're gonna deal with. We really care about that most. All right, guys, let's ride.
All right. So if you're unaware, recently the U.S. Department of Justice, or DOJ, published a batch of files related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and this release, which is over 3 million pages of documents, along with 2,000 videos and thousands of images, came in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which was passed in 2025. It was announced that this would be the last major release of Epstein materials, and these files encompass decades of evidence from federal investigations into Epstein and his associates, including FBI emails, interview summaries, financial records, personal correspondence, and photographs. But you might have noticed that just because they said 2,000 videos were released does not mean there are actually 2,000 videos that you could click and watch in a browser. Most of these files are not safe, legal, or appropriate to actually publish in a viewable form, or technically they're not presented in an easy, watchable way. Like, I feel like some of these videos are just MP4s that are embedded within emails that nobody can open in the first place. So over the last few days, a lot of people have been digging through these document releases, the emails, the court filings, the summaries, and the names. And that part is already getting heavily covered. But what I hadn't really seen been covered is the footage. I mean, I expected to see something, not even if it exists, but if it was actually released and what form it was in. And most people can't find it, which is why you're mostly seeing inventories and photos instead of actual playable videos. But that's what this video is. I went through the footage records themselves. You have to go through a maze and then sell your soul to the DOJ to actually view any of this. And I'm also putting files in a doc, and they're all linked by the DOJ, so it's not like sketchy. And I just want to be clear that I'm not showing any explicit material. However, all the footage you're going to be seeing here is verifiable and it's real. It's not AI. You're going to see a lot of black boxes. I'm not the one that put them there. They were put there to protect the identity of the victims. And if I'm showing you a video and anytime the sound cuts out, that was also not me. It was done to protect the voice of the victim in the video. And we're just going to walk through some of the footage that has been released. So firstly, there's a video of Jeffrey Epstein appearing to chase two victims around his kitchen. They're doing it in jest. We're not sure how old these two are, but they appear to be having fun with him while doing this. There's also around a 20-second video of Epstein dancing with what appears to be one of his victims, which is interesting to see. Up to now, there's been barely any footage of Jeffrey Epstein besides, court trials and news reports and whatnot. So it's interesting to see part of his personality here, but it's also really weird given the context. We have a 4-second video of Jeffrey Epstein and Steven Pinker, a Canadian psychologist, on Epstein's jet. And this one appears to be an accidental video, as it seems like they meant to take a picture instead. Now, as to why Steven Pinker, a well-known cognitive psychologist and public intellectual, would appear with Epstein is beyond me. His connections to Epstein could be academic or criminal, but it also could be both. We do know Epstein aggressively embedded himself in elite academic circles, especially Harvard, MIT, Santa Fe Institute, and the Edge Foundation, and Pinker was a part of this ecosystem, as we know that Epstein loved to present himself as a science philanthropist and a connector between donors and researchers, hosting private dinners with scientists, thinkers, and writers. But I guess we'll never know.
All right, excuse the poor audio. I'm recording this from the lab right now. I found something. So 13 years ago, Steve Pinker posted and asked me anything on Reddit, and he attached this photo with just identification and him, just proving it was him. Tell me why he's wearing the exact same shirt from the video. Am I tripping? Or is that not the exact same shirt? Anyways, I'll attach the thread below, but he answers a couple questions about, yeah, I thought that was an interesting find.
We also have a 10-second video of Epstein that's seemingly showing him to be playing with his phone the way an older person does when they don't understand how to record. It's just kind of a collage of him making strange faces. We have a video of Jeffrey Epstein with Jack Lang, the former French Minister of Education and the current president of the Arab World Institute. He was also the former Minister of Culture twice. And as to why Epstein was associated with Jack Lang, we'll never know. However, we do know that Jack Lang himself moved in international arts, education, and diplomatic circles where Epstein, again, presented himself as a wealthy patron of culture. However, there is no evidence that Lang received money from Epstein or even visited his island or is even named in any victim testimony. Still, there they are. Buddy. There's this random footage of what appears to be 3 young children singing, and I'm not sure who took this video. But what I also forgot to say at the beginning of the video is that for all this footage, we should assume that Jeffrey Epstein is the one taking the video, unless we hear a voice behind the camera otherwise. But yeah, it's kind of best to go with that rule of thumb or assume that it's one of his associates.
This is crazy, y'all. Absolute craziness.
There's footage of more victims, again, in Jeffrey Epstein's kitchen and what appears to be surrounded by lots of baked goods.
So for the record, so you guys can understand what's going on here, the majority of these videos, of these pictures, and everything that we're putting out here, they're redacted videos. These have been edited by the DOJ to conceal the identities of the victims, as well as to keep them for their own safety. So if you guys are seeing giant black boxes over people's faces and you're like, why is there so much missing? That's because they don't want you to be able to identify these people in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Even the people that are trying to get them, who claim to be victims, are having issues themselves about it. So this is just a huge cluster mess of everything that's wrong with the government, everything that's wrong with the people that support the government and pay the people in the government to do certain things. This is what we're dealing with right now. So if you guys have those questions are being answered just because of this.
There's video footage of Jeffrey Epstein confessing in prison that he was sexually assaulted.
Okay, so Darren and I are sitting here. You can hear the echo. I'm pretending I'm talking to Darren. So, hi, Darren. So Sarah and Nadia, you guys having a good time? You can see I have a little sore on my face that I got from some black guy trying to kiss me. It's really disgusting. Oh, it's really, oh. Anyway, I have pictures up on the wall. I had to borrow the Scotch tape to get the pictures on the wall. I'll talk to you guys later.
And we also have a full interview of Jeffrey Epstein with Steve Bannon, which I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's an hour, and you could find this on YouTube. And there's also helicopter footage of the arrest of Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, one of the bigger videos I wanted to get into was the Prince Andrew footage. So there's around 1 second of what we see as Prince Andrew over a very young victim who is clearly a minor. And there's also another video without Prince Andrew, which is a short video of a young girl who's also clearly a minor wearing a school uniform, and she appears in multiple videos, and it's very disturbing to say the least. However, what I found is that this footage matches exactly with the room that Prince Andrew was in with the other victim. This is also kind of one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. I have no idea what this room is, and I haven't gone through the thousands of photos yet to match anything. I had to comb through hundreds of clips of footage. So if anyone recognizes it, if anyone recognizes anything throughout this video, it would be nice for you to point it out in the comment section, or even just speculate. There's around a 51-second video of a man recording a young woman playing with a dog, and the dog ends up humping this woman, but I don't know who this man is. He's shown at the very end of the footage. I'm not going to show the weird part, but here, you can look for yourself and figure out who this guy is. There's a 54-second video of what appears to be two women in an airport or a subway, some type of public transportation building. They seem to be talking. I'm assuming Jeffrey Epstein is the one recording again, and you can't really hear what they're saying. They're kind of whispering.
One from Shannon has arrived.
There's a 1 second video of a woman in a car. It's really quick, but all you can hear is the person recording saying, just think about it in the background. I mean, it's obviously this person is trying to coerce this woman into doing something. I'm pretty sure it's Jeffrey recording again.
Just think about it. Just think about it.
There's around a 1 minute video of what looks to be people gathered in a room for a presentation, which is interesting because of the redactions here. So usually you're not going to see the redactions if there's a group of strangers. So clearly there's a couple people or either several people who are considered Jeffrey Epstein's victims, and they all appear to be watching some kind of presentation that's going on through this projector. I'm not sure, the audio is muted, and that's not my choice, but that's what we have. A minute of this. There's a video of a young woman having her picture taken either next to a mirror or a painting, and you can hear the guy behind the camera, who we're assuming is Jeffrey Epstein, saying, look a little happier. I've yet to see anything that resembles this room in any pictures. Again, I still haven't gone through the pictures yet, and after having to go through all the videos, I don't think I want to.
Look a little happier. Look a little happier.
There's around a 2 second video of Jeffrey Epstein taking a video of a victim in front of his desk. You're going to see this desk a lot. This is his desk. There's several videos of Epstein filming victims while he's sitting in his chair. But in this one, this around 2 seconds, you could hear him say, you could smile, it's okay.
You can smile, it's okay. It's not.
As you can see, we're dealing with a very diabolical human being.
Young lady beside him, and he is filming her. It's around 1 second. There's a video of a young woman in a hotel getting what appears to be room service in her bed. It's around 14 seconds, and they're speaking an unknown language. So if anyone could translate, that would be appreciated. There's a 20-second video of
Probably
just
Russia.
a beach. I think Jeffrey Epstein was interested in the waves, the weather. I don't know. There's around a 34-second video of what appears to be a child in a store getting candy. I'm not sure who the person is filming. They're obviously a woman. You could hear their voice. But again, only victims are redacted in these videos. So sadly, you have to assume that this little girl was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein.
So Luna is getting all the flavors of all the jellies. We already got 4 bags, but she thought it wouldn't be enough. So she's getting some more. She's very serious about it. Olivia, how many jelly beans did we get? And then just a little part of what we've got.
There's around a 15-second video of a man in one of Jeffrey Epstein's properties signing a blow-up doll. I'm not sure who this man is. It's definitely not Jeffrey Epstein. But this is why you guys are here.
Yeah, these people are ridiculous.
Again, there's another video recorded by Jeffrey Epstein where he's behind this desk and one of his victims is sitting on the couch in front of Epstein's desk here. Again, there's a lot of videos that Epstein takes from this angle, and I can't play it with audio. There's copyrighted music. Just know that.
We're not just dealing with creeps here. We're dealing with people who have money, people who have bought influence with their money and assumed power in
This
places
piece
that
of
they don't
footage was one of the
belong.
more interesting ones to me. It just appears to be 17 seconds of a random cabin in the woods with absolutely no civilization in sight. It's very interesting. There is around an 18-second video of what appears to be a victim who is dancing for Jeffrey on camera. This is one of the more interesting ones. There is around a 42-second video, presumably taken by Jeffrey Epstein, of a rodeo. It's just a bull riding thing.
Oh, Got a bite?
It's completely random. Hey, it was in the files. There is a whole 2-minute video of 2 victims dancing in front of Epstein's desk. Like I said, he was a sicko for this. He loved making people dance in front of his desk, but it's just 2 minutes of that. Now, this video is specifically creepy to me personally. It appears to be someone filming a blanket over somebody who is sleeping or lying down in a dark room. I think there's an individual under the blanket, is what I'm trying to say. I have to doctor this footage just a little bit. I have to turn the brightness up because it's that dark. But I really don't know. I don't know what I'm. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think anybody does yet, but we're going to find out. And we're going to do a dive into another video at the moment to uncover this a little bit more. This is the Epstein Files Explained for Dummies.
Good day to you all, my fellow goys. Now, if you clicked on this video, it's because you're trying to make sense of the latest Epstein Files release.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Now, I've largely stayed away from this topic, not because it isn't important, but because so many other creators have already covered it. And I don't like making content just for content's sake, especially when I have nothing new to add to the conversation. That said, I do keep getting requests from people who genuinely cannot wrap their heads around what these files actually are, why they are being released now, and how to interpret them. So in this video, I'm going to explain what exactly happened, why this is happening, and how we maybe should be understanding everything that we're seeing. So let's dive in. Firstly, let's briefly recap why anyone is even talking about Jeffrey Epstein in the first place. Who is this guy? Well, long story short, Jeffrey Epstein went from being a complete nobody with no clear career path, education, title, or notable achievement to becoming one of the world's most connected financial power brokers. He amassed enormous wealth, elite access, and relationships that placed him shoulder to shoulder with some of the most powerful and influential figures on the planet. According to the New York Times, Epstein made much of his fortune by providing tax and estate services to billionaires. He was also a prolific social networker whose connections included business leaders, royalty, politicians, and academics. His friendships with public figures such as Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and the Crown Princess of Norway attracted significant controversy. Documents released by the House Democratic Caucus in September 2025 also showed that he maintained connections with billionaires like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Larry Summers, and influential figures like Steve Bannon. Okay, now I'm not going to go too deep into Epstein's background because it's already been extensively covered elsewhere. What matters for our purposes in this video, however, is leverage. Leverage is the key concept that explains Epstein's role and his value. Intelligence agencies, political operators, and power brokers don't simply accumulate information. They accumulate leverage over people and institutions. Now, that leverage can come in many forms. Sometimes it's positive, access to capital, donors, or elite networks. Other times it's coercive, exploiting personal weaknesses, secrets, or illegal behavior. In Epstein's world, that leverage often revolved around sex. His properties and parties functioned as these environments where powerful people could indulge in desires that they could never safely pursue in public. Those desires, once documented or facilitated, became leverage. And once leverage exists, control follows. This context explains why Epstein was closely connected to figures like Donald Trump in the 1990s. Trump's acquisition of the Miss Universe pageant placed hundreds, if not thousands, of young aspiring models into his orbit. That environment provided Epstein with access to a steady stream of young, beautiful women, which he could then funnel into his broader network. But Epstein's activities went far beyond consensual adult behavior. He routinely procured prostitutes, trafficked human beings, and engaged in non-consensual sex, including of minors. By 2005, numerous young women had already come forward alleging that Epstein had sexually assaulted them or arranged for their abuse. That year, Palm Beach police opened an investigation after a parent reported that Epstein had sexually abused her 14-year-old daughter. Federal investigators later identified at least 36 girls, some as young as 14, who alleged sexual abuse. In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida state court to procuring a child for prostitution and soliciting a prostitute. As part of a highly controversial plea deal approved by then U.S. Attorney General Alexander Acosta, Epstein served just under 13 months in custody, much of which on work release. By 2008, Epstein was officially convicted as a serial sex offender. Now, this is very important because anyone who associated with Epstein after that point knew without a doubt that he was a convicted rapist of underage girls. So when you see correspondence involving figures like Noam Chomsky, Elon Musk, David Stern, and many others in the Epstein files, understand this clearly. They knew that Epstein was a rapist. Now, continued contact does not automatically prove criminal guilt, but it raises serious questions about judgment, ethics, and integrity. Despite his previous charges, Epstein didn't stop. In 2019, he was arrested again, this time on federal sex trafficking charges. Before his trial could begin, however, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell, officially ruled a suicide. Now, because of his death, all federal criminal charges against him were dismissed. But there was still new information that could come out about him because Epstein had maintained a decades-long partnership with Ghislaine Maxwell, who recruited and groomed underage girls on his behalf. In 2021, Maxwell was convicted in federal court on sex trafficking and conspiracy charges for helping Epstein abuse minors. So despite his untimely death and the fact that the government dropped the charges against him, we were still able to obtain new information through the Maxwell case. Epstein's elite social circle and the abrupt end to his prosecution fueled widespread suspicion. Many people believed he maintained detailed records of powerful individuals, used those records for blackmail, and was ultimately silenced to protect those people. Public skepticism intensified due to the inconsistencies surrounding his death, medical examiners' findings, surveillance failures, and the sheer scale of evidence collected against him. The term Epstein files refers to evidence gathered in the criminal investigations into Epstein and his associates. These materials, stored in the FBI Sentinel system, include flight logs, contact books, emails, photographs, videos, and court documents. Portions had been released in heavily redacted form gradually over the years, but most of it has remained sealed. Until now. As more victims came forward demanding accountability and as public pressure grew, the files became a cultural and political issue. Despite his own documented association with Epstein, Donald Trump publicly promised transparency during his re-election campaign in 2024. In fact, during the Biden administration, Trump allies, including Kash Patel, promoted claims that the FBI was deliberately withholding an Epstein client list and urged its release. Shortly after Trump returned to office in 2025, the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi told the Fox News journalist John Roberts that the Justice Department would publish the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. She specifically said, "It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That has been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that." A week later, on February 27th, she released documents that contained no significant new information, however. Faced with outcry from a disappointed public, Bondi demanded that the FBI director, Kash Patel, provide the extensive material she had originally requested from him. A few months later, on June 6th, the Joe Rogan Experience aired an interview with Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, who said of the Epstein matter, "We've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release." The DOJ publicly released a memo on July 7th stating it did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties and would not release further Epstein-related documents. When asked what Bondi meant in February when she said that Epstein material was on her desk, the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt said Bondi had been referring to the entirety of all the paperwork related to Epstein's crimes rather than any specific client list. Bondi offered a similar clarification at a cabinet meeting the following day.
All right, guys, what we're going to do, since we're still having technical issues and it's causing me issues now, I'm going to restart the stream. So everyone go out. I'll be live again in exactly 2 minutes or less. I'm going to restart the stream and I'm going to re-enter the studio under a different link. So go in to and see it. It's going to be titled Part 2. You guys can check out Part 2 in approximately 2 minutes. I'm going to try to get this right. Thank you guys for sticking around.
Finally, Tez. Finally, Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
Finally, Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.